A news can make someone go broke, and that same news can make someone go rich. Well, in this book, The Psychology of Money, there is no equation, no technical jargons, just pure evergreen stuff. And in this video, we'll talk about it. So let's get started. In the chapter 1, it said that no one is crazy. See, it simply highlights that a simple but powerful idea. People aren't crazy with money, they are just shaped by different life experiences. For example, if someone lived in 2008 and he has seen the worst crashes of all time, he might fear stocks and he might love the concept of cash. But what if someone has seen the bull run of 2010? He might be really inclined to stocks and he might hate the concept of cash. So, these differences aren't about interest or logic, they are emotional response to personal history. So, Morgan Housel says money decisions are deeply personal. We act based on what we have seen and not what's theoretically correct. For example, if someone has seen their father's property just vanish because of stocks, he might fear stocks. But what if someone has seen their father making money, their friends making money, or their father's friend making money? He might be inclined towards stock. So that's just through the lens you see. So there's nothing right or wrong, it's just shaped by your experiences. Next. Luck and risk. Housel explores how success and failure with money often comes down a mix of luck and risk. See, the area in which Bill Gates lived, it had millions of people, and Bill Gates was amongst those some of 300 people who went to that high school. And at that time, $3,000 was given by their parents. So just think about the type of money in 1968, having computer, having given 3,000, or going to that specific high school. That's one in a million case. And equally intelligent friend of Bill Gates, Kent Evans, died in a mountaineering accident. In that tragedy, the chance of a high school student dying was one in a million, and that happened too. So, Housel urges us to be careful when judging others, especially when copying them. You cannot emulate other success or failure. Maybe more about timing and chance than behavior alone. So, there is always a factor of luck and risk attached to it. Chapter 3. Never enough. See, there was this guy Rajat Gupta who was once the CEO of McKinsey, who was born in slums of India. So that guy made a huge amount of money, had good relations with CEOs, knew a lot of people. He was really powerful, but he there was always this desire of wanting more. So he just gave a tip to his friend, and he was caught in a crime of insider trading. So why he did it? Because someone else had more. The lesson: chasing endless money leads to comparison, resentment, and eventually self-destruction. Housel says that hardest financial decision isn't earning or investing; it's knowing when enough is enough. True wealth comes not just from making money, but from learning contentment, setting boundaries, and avoiding the trap of comparison. Next, confounding and compounding. So, I hope you are familiar with Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett's stock, Warren Buffett's company averaged 22% return per year, and from that just 22% return, he who built over 80 billion of his wealth after turning 50. But he found a secret strategy because he started investing at age 10. And now think about Jim Simon. Jim Simon's stock averaged 66% annual returns, which is much higher than Warren Buffett's. But why does he have less money? Because he started at age 50. So real magic isn't high returns, it's time. Most people underestimate how small steady gains over a long period can explode into huge results. Housel argues that the reason compounding is underappreciated is because it's counterintuitive. Results don't show up quickly. You can take example of YouTube or TikTok. They work like that. So mastering money isn't about chasing the next big win, but staying patient and letting time do the heavy lifting. You just have to stay consistent. Now, getting wealthy plus and versus staying wealthy. Housel makes a crucial decision. Getting rich and staying rich are two different skills. While getting wealthy requires risk taking, boldness, optimism, But staying wealthy demands the opposite: humility, caution, healthy dose of fear. So, Housel gives the example of how people make millions through brilliant investment or business move, but lose it all because they never shift their mind to growth, to preservation. He emphasized that wealth is not just making good decisions, but avoiding catastrophic ones. For example, Mike Tyson made $300 million during his career, but he went bankrupt, proving that making money and keeping money are two different skills. Next, tails you win. Housel explains a surprising truth: a small number of events. The tail often accounts for majority of results. In investing, it means a few stocks or moments generate most of the returns. For example, the majority returns of Warren Buffett was given to him by Apple and Coca-Cola. You don't have to be right all the time. Even if you are right, even if you just catch less but few big wins, you are good to go. That's what venture capitalists do. They invest in 20 companies and hoping that one becomes the next Google and they recover all their losses. Chapter 7: Freedom. Morgan Housel argues that highest form of wealth is freedom, the ability to do what you want, when you want, and with whom you want. So it's fine if you have $50,000, but you can live the life which you want rather than having $2 million every year, but working 100 hours a week. That's practically not good for you. Housel emphasized that money is more powerful when it gives you flexibility to sleep in, to work on what excites you, or to walk away from toxic situations. So, true wealth isn't flashy, it's the quiet ability to say, I don't have to do everything. Man in the car paradox. So, I hope you have seen someone driving a flashy car. The person buys a flashy car to impress the society. So people think that people will consider him a big person. But the thing is, people don't care about him. They say that I want a Ferrari. They don't say that he is successful. So he says that true respect is earned through behavior, humility, kindness, or integrity, not through purchased luxury. So use money for personal fulfillment, freedom, and not for shallow validation from others. Wealth is what you don't see. Housel explains that real wealth is invisible. It's the money you don't spend. The expensive car, the luxury home, designer clothes, watches may show someone's spending power, but not their actual financial wealth. It can be on a lease. He might be drowned in heavy loans. So we should account that also. He shares how people often confuse riches with wealth, but the richest looking people might be the most financially fragile, while the truly wealthy live quietly and below their means. So, in short, wealth is built in silence but lost in noise. So, a neighbor with simple lifestyle but millions in savings may be truly wealthy. Meanwhile, someone with luxury clothes or a nice car is on the verge of getting broke. Now, save money. Housel emphasizes a simple but powerful truth. Saving money is more important than high income or great investment returns. See, everything is not in your hands. Who might know that my market might crash tomorrow? But the savings is in your hands. Saving is not about having extra money, it's about creating options, freedom, and resilience. Sorry. Housel also knows that you don't need a specific reason to save. Sorry. You save for things you can't possibly predict. Emergencies, opportunities, or life changes can come without warning, and savings give you power to respond. Ultimately, wealth is the gap between your ego and your income, and savings widen that gap. A man who never earned 50,000 a year but saved diligently might retire as a millionaire. So the secret wasn't income, but it was discipline. Being reasonable is greater than being rational. Chapter 11. Morgan argues that when it comes to saving money, being reasonable is better than being rational. So, humans aren't spreadsheets. We crave for comfort, we crave for a better sleep, we crave for a better environment and less stress. So, rationality means doing what mathematically optimal. Reasonable decisions take into account your emotions, values, and life context. For example, paying off a low interest mortgage instead of investing might not be the smartest financial move on paper, but that might give you peace that you don't need to pay further. So, whatever helps you sleep better at night, I think that's reasonably better than being rational. Chapter 12, Surprise. Housel highlights the powerful note for surprise, randomness, and unexpected outcomes. He argues that history is full of events, wars, market crash. Who knew that there would be a 2008 financial crisis? Who knew that 2019 COVID would have been so terrible and catastrophic? This chapter reminds us to be humble about forecasting the future because the future will always include that never happened before. You cannot predict the future. You can have record of histories, you can just have a little bit idea, but predicting future is not in anyone's hand. You cannot time the market. The key lesson is prepare for that unexpected event and build system like emergency funds or diversified portfolios. For example, the people in time of COVID did not have any liquidity, did not have any cash. That was also the problem. So investing heavily in stocks might also not be a good option. So you should be ready for any catastrophic events, any wars, anything which might happen in the future. God forbid, but these things happen. In finance, the most random events are the ones which we didn't plan, and luck, timing, and randomness matter more than we think. Chapter 13, Room for Error. Hauser emphasizes the importance of having a margin of safety or room of error. No plan survives reality exactly as imagined. Things can go wrong, whether due to bad luck, wrong assumptions, or unexpected events. He compares it to engineers building bridges. See, they always account for extra weight, not because more people will come. But what if uncertainty happens? They just prepare for that uncertainty. So it's wise to underestimate future returns, overestimate expenses, and keep a buffer. Housel notes that most financial failures don't come from being slightly wrong. They come from being completely unprepared of being wrong. So you must be prepared that things might get wrong. Smart investors aren't the boldest, they are the most cautious. See, the only winners in the stock market are people who don't lose money. It's not just about making the money. If you don't lose it, then also you are a winner. So, chapter 14, You Will Change. Morgan Housel explores a critical but often ignored truth. You will change over time. Your goals, desires, and definition of success will evolve. For example, what if you wish to be a doctor? You work 10 to 15 years and it might be a dream to you. But after becoming a doctor, you might think that, oh, I have to spend 10 years or 10 hours of my life every day and I'm getting paid less or more or whatever your problem is. So your goals might change. You should not make rigid financial decisions or career decisions also. Locking yourself into a 30-year plan based on your current dreams might backfire because future self could want something entirely different. For example, as a child, you might want a Ferrari, but when you grow up, you might be satisfied in a Ford and rather be free at home and chilling with your friends rather than spending 80 to 90 hours a week in a MNC. So, the solution, build flexibility into your financial life. Avoid extreme bets, over optimization, or commits that limits your future choices. So, a 25-year-old might want to retire early and travel the world, and a 40-year-old might want to get settled. And he wants stability, family time, and safe investments. So, our goals evolve, and we also evolve. Chapter 15, Nothing's Free. Housel explains that everything worthwhile has a price, and in investing, the price offer isn't clear upfront. It's not about dollars, but emotions like volatility, uncertainty, doubt, and fear. Many investors try to avoid these fees by chasing quick wins or timing the market. He argues that volatility is not fine to be avoided. It's the fee you pay to earn long term returns. Just like you pay money to ride a roller coaster or buy a luxury experience, you must pay in discomfort to enjoy the gains of investing. This mistake is thinking you can get the reward without accepting the cost. Housel urges readers to stop seeing the market downturns or stress as punishment and start viewing them as cost of admission to long-term wealth, a cost that, while painful, is worth paying. Investing in stock market gives great long-term returns, but causes emotional pain during the crisis. See, in short, there is nothing free in this world. Your time may be an investment, your emotions may be an investment. So there is nothing free. Chapter 16. You and me. Housel explains that people often make bad financial decisions, not because they are irrational, but because they are playing different financial games. See, a time investor might panic seeing a trader cashing his money out, cashing out. So without realizing they have different goals, timelines, and risk tolerance. Someone investing for a 30 years away shouldn't mimic a day trader for gains for a week. He reminds us to know what game we are playing and stick to it, instead of copying others, just as a poker player wouldn't use a chess strategy. Investors shouldn't follow advice or headlines they don't fit their financial plan. Financial success requires clarity, not just about what to do, but what you are doing it. But why are you doing it? Chapter 17. Seduction of pessimism. See, negativity is like sound traveling in solid medium. It travels fastest. So, pessimism sounds smarter and more believable than optimism. For example, what if I say that tomorrow markets would crash and you have to cash out today? And that news would spread like anything. But if I say that tomorrow will be a really fine day and there will be a bull run, no one cares. So, this is what happens. So Housel argues that progress is more common than we realize. The world improves slowly while disasters happen suddenly. So optimism is often right over time, but pessimism dominates the spotlight. So he gives example like economic growth and innovation, which quietly builds over decades, while crashes or recessions steal the headlines. So headlines screaming market crash or economic collapses go viral because bad news feel more urgent. But long-term wealth growth usually wins. Chapter 18. Hustle explores how people create financial narratives to make sense of uncertainty, especially when faced with fear or confusion. When the future is unpredictable, like a market crash or sudden economic shock, our brain craves explanation even it's false. For example, after stock market crash, someone might blame manipulation or assume the system is rigged, rather than acknowledging how complex and chaotic the world is. See, there can be different problems. Because of wars, the oil prices might get disturbed. Maybe because of COVID, there can be a problem. Maybe because of a natural calamity like earthquake. So, you should accept uncertainty, stay humble, resist the urge to force tidy explanations onto messy, unpredictable events. In money, as in life, it's better to admit what we don't know than to believe in a comforting lie. Chapter 19. All together now. Housel brings together all the key lessons from the book into a set of guiding principles for building lasting wealth. He emphasizes financial, financial success isn't just about knowledge, it's about behavior, mind, and emotional control. He enforces that wealth is built slowly through patience and reasonable decisions. He also reminds us that everyone's financial journey is personal, and best financial price is one that works for you. So, person with average income, low expense, high saving rates, long investing horizon, and emotional discipline will outperform a highly paid person with poor habits of investing. And the final chapter, Confessions. Housel opens up with personal confession about his financial beliefs. He admits that he has a large portion of his wealth in cash, not because it maximizes returns, it's just because it gives him peace of mind. He aims to get highest possible returns. See, the thing is, he has cash because he doesn't want highest possible returns. He just want to live freely, and you don't have to follow textbook perfect financial strategies to be financially successful. See, you don't need to be rigid. You don't need a clear strategy. The thing is, see, let's sum up whole book. First of all, let me read it and let me complete it, and then I'll tell. So the psychology of money teaches that managing money is more about behavior than intelligence. People make financial decisions based on emotions, personal experience, habits, and not logic. Key lessons: power of saving, importance of patience, compounding, avoiding envy, focusing on long term consistency. Wealth is freedom and peace of mind, not flashing spending. In the end, how you think about it, money matters more than how much you know about it. See, the truth is, if you are in your teens, then this might be one of the best reads. But if you are in your 20s, mid 20s, or late 20s, it might not be that fruitful to you because you might have experienced all the things and you might know every psychology behind it. So I'd say if you are in your teens, you can obviously read this. But if you are in your late 25, 20, mid 20s or late 20s, then I guess you can skip it because you might have experienced many things till now. But it's just a good read. And now the basic things are: there's always a factor of luck. You must believe compounding. You must take risk, but that should be calculative. You must be reasonable sometimes. You are not a spreadsheet. You should not emulate others. You should not just follow negative headlines. And the thing is free. You must invest your time into it, and you cannot emulate others' plan. Someone might be planning to go just 1 mile, and you might be going for a marathon. So, and always you should have a room for error. There can be unforeseen circumstances. There can be problems. Things might not go according to you, but you must stick to your plan. And I guess I have completed the book. So I might have fumbled a few times. So guess I'll have to avoid this in the future videos. And I hope you liked this video. And for further videos, just subscribe. Thank you.